The Earth is home to as many as 30 million living species. With each passing day, more and more of them face extinction. Once a species is extinct, there is no turning back the clock. Whether it is the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions or the treatment of industrial waste, the time to act is now. To ensure a safe human and natural environment on the Earth, accurate measuring of harmful substances is necessary. Besides approximately 600 types of detector tubes for measuring various gas and vapor concentrations, Gastec also has many tubes for detecting liquids. Gastec detector tubes can be optimally utilized in the production as well as the quality control process. For example, are the raw materials in the right compositions or proportions? Do filters, air cleaners, fans or the like function properly? What about material flowing through a factory pipeline? Are the concentrations of the target medium correct? Are there undesired or harmful substances present? Is there leakage? Are chimneys or exhaust flues emitting any toxic fumes or gases? In what concentration? Within permissible limits or not? No production or QA facility should be without Gastec's detector tubes. Lives may depend on the accuracy of measurements. No site with risk of toxic hazards should be without Gastec detector tubes. In mines, exhaust gas from machinery or vehicles can reach dangerous levels. In refineries and various energy or industry-related facilities, toxic waste or emissions are liable to occur. Printing, painting, surface processing often emits toxic substances, which partially also pose fire hazards. To ensure safety, regular screening as well as spot checks are indispensable when determining concentrations and risks. Even these types of hazardous situations call for Gastec detector tubes. At the site of a tanker truck accident or fire, there often is no way of knowing what hazardous substances are released. Determining their exact nature, composition, or concentration enables appropriate action to be taken. Discarded gas containers and other items dumped in junkyard, waste storage, or disposal sites often contain or leak unknown gases. New sales and marketing opportunities for Gastec products can be found. Indoor measuring of carbon dioxide concentrations in air, for instance. In offices, public facilities, and the like. Measuring of toxic gas concentrations in public facilities to ensure safety and hygiene. Measuring of carbon dioxide or nitrogen dioxide concentrations, for instance in kitchens, garages, etc. Measuring concentrations of phosphine or methyl bromide sometimes given off during fumigation of warehouses. Measuring ethylene concentrations that sometimes accumulate in citrus fruit warehouses. Measuring of toxic gas concentrations in new buildings, for instance formaldehyde. Measuring chlorine concentrations at indoor swimming pools. Measuring soil contaminants or other substances in industrial or agricultural settings. Assessing the ambient atmosphere in greenhouses, plant nurseries, and the like. Measuring carbon dioxide or ammonia concentrations emitted in the raising of mushrooms. Measuring concentrations of carbon dioxide in the production of carbonated beverages. Measuring concentrations of ethylene oxide used in the sterilization of equipment, tools, and the like, at medical or R&D facilities. Practical tools for use in science experiments and educational facilities and the like. But no complex equipment is required. 1, 2, 3. Gastec enables quick, easy, and accurate measuring at minimum investment cost, but with reliable results. So, before going into the technical details, let us briefly consider the overall significance of detector tubes as well as their use. Along with technological advances in the chemical industry, such byproducts as gases and vapors of varying degrees of toxicity, as well as in varying concentrations, are increasingly critical issues in our world. Moreover, in our living environment, air pollution and groundwater contamination are attracting increasing concern. Hence, for the effective containment, prevention, as well as treatment of the harmful effects on human health, it is important to be able to identify harmful gases or substances in a given environment and determine their concentrations, so that appropriate action can be taken. Conventionally, highly sophisticated analysis apparatus tends to be used to perform these measurements. Since such apparatus, as well as the process of analysis, involved specialized knowledge, required considerable time, effort, and expense, it could not be used simply by anyone nor anywhere in day-to-day practice. In contrast, detector tubes, due to their simple handling, enable flexible and prompt response to various critical situations by anyone with a basic knowledge of their application while ensuring safety. In particular, our Gastec detector tube system is virtually foolproof due to its simple handling with a procedure entailing a minimum of easy-to-remember steps. The measurement result can be directly read from the color changing scale of the detector tube. A Gastec easy-to-measure detector tube is simply inserted in an equally easy-to-use gas sampling pump. The pump is pulled as per the easy-to-follow instructions, and a measuring result is obtained within a few minutes. High-precision measuring of low as well as high concentrations up to tens of % is possible. Can easily be taken anywhere due to the compact and light design. Since no electric power is used, the Gastec detector tube kit can be used safely even in the presence of explosive or combustible gases, as there is absolutely no sparking hazard. The familiar Gastec detector tube package label contains important and useful information which will now be explained. The letter following the detector tube number denotes the measurement range. The name of the designated gas or vapor to be measured is indicated. The chemical formula of the designated gas or vapor to be measured is indicated. This is the maximum measurement range possible beyond the calibrated scale printed on the detector tube. This is the calibrated scale printed on the detector tube. This is the quality control number. Always mention it when making any inquiry. This indicates the contents. There are 10 tubes per packet altogether, enough for 10 measurements. However, for twin tubes, this is enough for 5 measurements, as 2 tubes are required per measurement. The recommended storage conditions are indicated. The accuracy of detector tubes can be maintained over long periods of time, provided they are correctly stored at low temperatures. Direct exposure to sunlight should also be avoided. We strongly recommend refrigerated storage for many tube types. This is the term of validity throughout which the accuracy of a Gastec detector tube is guaranteed. These are the instructions included in the package. The detector tube number is indicated. Some tips for safe use are indicated. The range of application is indicated. Here, a typical Gastec detector tube with its calibrated scale range is shown. The measurement range is indicated. Measurement beyond the calibrated scale range can also be conducted by varying the number of times of sampling with the detector tube. This shows the measurable range per number of strokes. This indicates the sampling time per pump stroke. The lowest concentration that can be detected with this detector tube is indicated. The discoloration is displayed, the color of the detection reagent before use, and the discoloration which appears in the presence of target gas after the chemical reaction has started are shown. The reaction principle of the reagent and the target gas is described here. The compensation coefficient, which compensates for any temperature influence, is indicated. Some detector tubes are highly sensitive to temperature. They are indicated as such, and a temperature compensation table is included to calculate the true target gas concentration. The influence of humidity is indicated. Relative humidity within 0 to 90% does not affect the measured value significantly. The influence of atmospheric pressure is shown here. Since atmospheric pressure also has an effect, the actual concentration needs to be determined according to the formulas indicated. The measuring procedure is indicated. This is a table showing the types of so-called interference gases. When the gas to be measured and other similar gases are concurrently present, the value may be affected depending on the detector tube. The respective interferent and its effects are shown here. Other gases which can be measured with this detector tube are indicated. A recommendation on correct disposal is made here. Gastec detector tubes created by the latest research and development, as well as high-precision manufacturing techniques. Since the company succeeded in commercial production of direct reading detector tubes and its easy-to-use gas sampling pump in 1970, Gastec is as dedicated as ever to supplying users with precise and reliable, yet simple-to-use measuring technology. Various bits of information the user needs to know are printed on the detector tubes themselves. There are two types of Gastec detector tube, the single tube which completes measuring using one tube, and the twin tube sets which also include a pre-treatment tube as well. A detector tube contains a fixed quantity of reagents sealed in a thin glass tube with a 3 to 6 millimeter inner diameter. Primarily, 5 substances are used in the reagent. This is a detection reagent. It is the chemical coated on carrier media such as granules of silica gel, alumina, or silica sand and filled into the tubes. It reacts with the target gas and a layer of discoloration starts to form. Particularly the detection reagents of Gastec have very fine particles and react to target gas quickly. The Gastec GV100 gas sampling pump, created by diligent research and development, it reacts with the target gas and a layer of discoloration starts to form. Particularly the detection reagents of Gastec have very fine particles and react to target gas quickly. The Gastec GV100 gas sampling pump, created by diligent research and development of Gastec, has a unique structure, which other models do not have. Now let's take a detailed look at the GV100 gas sampling pump. The built-in tip breaker has a diamond edge for greater safety. This is the piston. Excellent airtightness and durability are ensured by optimal vacuum sealing. This is the guide mark for aligning the pump cylinder and the handle for the sampling procedure. This is the handle stopper, which allows sampling for 2 volumes, 50 and 100 milliliters. It is ergonomic to hold in the hands with a handle that is easy to pull. Gastec has taken simple functionality to new heights. The end of measuring is shown by the finish indicator, which can be checked visually. When the measurement is complete, a white dot becomes visible. Now let's do some actual measuring using the Gastec GV100 gas sampling pump. Although there are some slight differences in procedure according to detector tube type, Gastec is always easy to use. Before starting measurement, you need to strictly check that the gas sampling pump is actually airtight. If there is an air leak in the gas sampling pump, the exact concentration cannot be accurately measured. Be sure that the inlet clamping nut is firmly tightened. Insert an unused detector tube into the rubber inlet flange of the pump. Push in the handle and align the red line with the 100 milliliter marking. Pull the handle back to the full 100 milliliter position, locking it in place. Wait 1 minute. Rotate the handle 1/4 turn and set it back supported with your hand. Be sure to guide it back gradually by applying a little resistance. Otherwise, the handle will spring back due to the vacuum in the cylinder and possibly damage the pump or cause injury. The airtight condition of the gas sampling cylinder is ensured when it returns to the position where the red line cannot be seen. This is the correct method of using a detector tube. Please recheck to be sure you have done everything right. An unused detector tube must be used. Insert the detector tube in the tip breaker. Turning it around lightly for 4 to 5 times makes an incision in the tip. Now, simply bend the tube towards you to break off the tip. Repeat the procedure for the other end. Insert the detector tube in the pump so that the arrow of the G mark points towards the pump. Align the handle with the guide mark for the sampling amount as indicated in the instructions. 50 or 100 milliliters. Make sure that the handle is pushed in. Point the exposed tube end towards the point to be measured. Then fully pull back the handle in one motion. The stopper of the handle will lock with a click. Hold the tube still until sampling is complete. The completion of sampling can be confirmed by checking the finish indicator. Moreover, the handle cannot be moved. When the top of the discoloration layer is flat, simply read the adjacent value. When the top of the discoloration layer is slanted, read the value in the center of the slant. When the top of the discoloration layer is pale, read the value midway between the dark and the pale layer ends. Here is a tip for easier and more precise reading. Mark the demarcation point of the tube's discoloration layer with a pen, then record the result. Some detector tubes are more susceptible to the influence of temperature or humidity on the measured value. First, let us look at the effect of temperature. The scale printed on the detector tube is based on a tube temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. When the tube temperature exceeds this standard, it is necessary to carry out temperature compensation of the value to ascertain the correct measured value. The temperature compensation table is included in the instructions as highlighted here. The upper row is the detector tube temperature and the lower is the compensation coefficient for correcting the reading value. Humidity can affect the accuracy of readings. Most detector tubes are not significantly affected by normal humidity under 90%. A few tubes are significantly affected. For these, the compensation table in the instructions must be consulted to determine the true concentration value. When a gas similar to the target gas is concurrently present, an obtained value may be affected depending on the detector tube type used. When a similar gas is also present, the obtained concentration value will obviously tend to be higher. Some concrete examples of interference are indicated in the enclosed instructions. Please ask your authorized Gastec representatives in cases where there is a likelihood of a gas not indicated in the table being present. Correct storage of detector tubes prior to their use is critical. They will retain their accuracy for a long time as long as they are correctly stored at low ambient temperatures. Direct sunlight is to be avoided, and for certain tubes we even recommend refrigerated storage. Correct disposal of detector tubes is also important. Some tubes need to be treated as industrial waste due to the reagent they contain. Since the disposal method is indicated in the handling description for each detector tube, please dispose accordingly. A detector tube used once cannot be reused even if no discoloration is in evidence. Please use a new detector tube every time to ensure accurate measurements. Please strictly observe the term of validity for correct measurement. Accuracy cannot be guaranteed when measuring with a detector tube whose term of validity has expired. Only use Gastec detector tubes with Gastec gas sampling pumps. Gastec detector tubes are designed for use in conjunction with the GV100 pump. They should never be used with pumps of any other manufacturer. Only strict adherence to this rule will guarantee accurate results. 118 gas detector tubes of Gastec are listed on the official website of OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration Standard of Evaluation. For competitors, only around 75 to 100 tubes are listed. 21 types of Gastec gas detector tube have passed the strict approval criteria of SEI, the Safety Equipment Institute in the United States. For measurement of gas or vapor, Gastec has approximately 600 types of detector tube. Moreover, there are also many detector tubes for measuring liquid concentrations and other items. Gastec is proud to be the world's #1 manufacturer. This is a type of measuring tube that is directly exposed to the gases to be measured, without the necessity of a sampling pump. Instead of sampling gas with a pump, these dozy tubes are directly exposed to the environment to be measured, but for a longer time. Gastec has also developed a wide range of other detection systems as well.